I want to get a refund for this Fire Pro.
Mm-hmm. Why you don't like it?
It's trash.
I mean, what's so
It
trash
just,
about
it
it?
just, it's just not fun the way it moves. The controls, the lack of a decent grappling system.
It's not like a button tap, a whole like classic.
It's like it's R1, but it's like I don't know. It's just not. It's hard to explain. If you want, I stream it so you can see it.
No, I don't do. I always saw it before, but I just ain't never played it.
Today, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Now, I understand this all started with a rap contest in New York, right? Which you won. Radio City and those guys had been in the.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, it's a black and blue matchup in the NFC North between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6". So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
When we talked in the preseason about guys entering the league, and, we go through the rookie class and the whole deal, I know we said that he had potential. Did we really believe he'd be this solidly in the MVP race this late in the year?
I think any time, and you know this better than me, you put rookie next to MVP candidate this late in the season, I think that's pretty much all you need to say.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Don't forget, there's a natural bias against giving a rookie an MVP award. People just don't like to do it, but he's definitely in the discussion.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This is complete to Mecole Hardman. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Go.
Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Earlier in the week,
See
when they
that
had their
too?
scouting report meeting, this was the
How you run the
explosiveness that
ball.
they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
And this carries into the end zone. And no effort
It's,
to bring
this
this
shit
one
sweet
out.
when you
It's a
go
touchback.
live on YouTube. Once a person come in, you can see the count on the bottom right hand.
You can see the count on PlayStation 4.
Cousins
I
and
know,
the
but
Vikings with a
it's
first
but
and
it's like
10
constantly
at
there.
their own
This one you
25-yard
you'll
line.
like fade away.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook.
Oh,
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part
I'm
of
not
it.
telling
But a
no
lot of it is
defense. I
just
don't
being
like this.
actors
Green Bay
back there,
defense.
making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Can we get a kick
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
I'm gonna put
He's
that
going to get a
touchdown.
solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 15 carries, 79 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line.
What?
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen
20.
pass.
I don't know about,
Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening.
What the
Still,
fuck?
ended up with a solid game.
So out of bounds on the
That nigga shanked the punt.
The side judge says right at the 35-yard line here. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know what often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Oh, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
41-yard line.
Second and 4. Flush to his right. He's got his man on the crossing route. He is out of bounds inside the 35. 27 yards there, a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Jordan Phillips, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a toss for Swift left side. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. This is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Mecole Hardman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm. Relax a little bit and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
At their own 25.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out it.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation. Knowing when it exists to go to it, they did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now
Defensively,
you always got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got his man, that's Hardman. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big connection on that one, 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver, and as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On play action, they'll throw. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The lines move there, look like nobody open, now 2nd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place.
Ashton Thorne.
He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Maybe I should.
They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you.
Bronson, I need that block.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
Good block, that's what I need.
But he does reach the 5. 10 more there and another 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Here's Swift. And he takes this one in for the Lions. Touchdown. DeAndre Swift. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. So simple math here in the 1st half. They've had 3 drives.
Ran a rookie there every game.
And they've they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
At their own 25-yard
Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession.
And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily, when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? On second down, Cousins again. Got an open man, Keelan Cole. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
I know he's running.
From the gun, here's Cousins.
Oh, for the pick.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Cousins now to throw on first down. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a gain of 20.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw again on second down, Cousins.
Oh.
Here, Adam Thielen. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Keelan Cole, his 5th touchdown.
I probably got the worst pass defense.
And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
27-yard line.
DeAndre Swift heading back out with his Detroit teammates.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
See with him with this
I've
double
always loved
move.
about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had. Right. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Cover 3.
They'll look to throw here. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run for it. Breaks the tackle. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45.
That's a good touchdown.
A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
We're all still valiantly searching for the so-called book, right, that tells us what to do in every situation. Everyone kind of knows what it says, but it's never really been written down anywhere. He violated every code on that one, didn't he? Decided to go for it right there.
Oh, yeah, your side of the field, this stage of the game, you're supposed to punt the football. He said, who cares? I'm going to light the book on fire.
Yeah, analytics, everyone else, be warned.
No.
He's coming for you.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Middle gonna be open.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds a man in a crossing route. And he is going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 1st half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Back to throw here.
No.
Yeah, he's got it. And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there. That's a 1st down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the 1st half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there as the 1st half is winding down. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Jennifer!
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the 2nd half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Nice can do on that boy. Huh?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the 1st half. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From the shotgun.
Yeah, pushing up 4 days straight.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Yeah, 4 days straight.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll give him a fresh set of downs. Final play of the half. Cousins gonna let it fly for Rudolph. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So we have come to halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The Vikings set to receive the 2nd half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, he'll set up to throw.
Shit.
He's at the 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings.
Complete.
Adam Thielen with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. That's a score you felt they had to have.
Give me that.
Now it's scooped up, and this
Give
is
me
a live
that. Give me
football.
that.
But he will not be able to bring this one back, in the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
I rarely question anyone's effort on the field. But normal, you give up a touchdown like that, a long-distance play, there's usually not a lot of resistance on the extra point. In this case, though, well, they bowled their backs and got after it, didn't they?
A little revenge. Nicely done.
Yeah, way to go. Get in there, block it, and show them that they're still fighting.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line
I'm
after a
giving
gain
you
of
out.
6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
James Harden, Frank.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Flushed out right. And this one incomplete.
Oh, you little bitch.
To hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally, the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact. But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
Now they'll run it.
I should cut it up.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
Plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll be taken down before he works it past the 50.
I just want to hear it all the time.
There on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Now they'll run it on the toss.
That's what I'm talking about. This I'm talking about.
He's out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Let me try to show you how to do it. Let's Swift show you
If
how
you see
to do
that
it.
type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Give me that over there. I think it's a good block.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. If they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Once again, it's Swift. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right at the 26.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
That is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
Goal at the 3-yard line.
2nd down and 3 with right around 3 minutes remaining. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things really escalate for him. And right now, I feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check.
Look at this play.
The end zone once, but boy, he can explode it.
When you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming.
And I always enjoy the conversation because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag.
They ain't got caught with the roughing pass.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I thought for sure that was an interception.
At the 48-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. The throw taken in by Cole. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Baby,
They run it again with Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Justin Jefferson, his 5th touchdown now on the year.
That's not easy on his feet.
Slide for the PAT.
For the point after.
And this one's back to an 8-point game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Joey slide out, a kickoff after the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 5.
Brings up back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. On third down, here comes Swift. He's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed.
Johnson might be
for
open.
almost no gain.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Yeah.
The Lions turned away on fourth down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Cousins to throw it. And nearly picked off there. And it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
To throw is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
Last 3 games,
Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. To throw, Cousins. Incomplete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Sets him up nicely, 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. That's complete, right around the 8. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. This will be caught at about the 5. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
That was a huge play on 3rd down, so now what? Do you go for it? Do you trust your offense? Or do you want to put on your defense to try and get the ball back? Me? I'm going for it right here.
Pick up.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Keelan Cole with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Throwing is Cousins. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted to tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal. Man, I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
That's another Detroit Lions.
They'll set up a throw. Steps away to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On second down, Swift. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Deontay Johnson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded in the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard
So
line.
Kirk Cousins in the offense. Down by 7. A minute 56 to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. After the sack on first down, Cousins. McKinnon here, it's complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yeah, the opportunity squashed. On first down, Swift. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an
Yo,
absolute great
Swift with
game
a
that
big,
he's had here in this.
big run.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
21-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So word again, symptomatic?
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down. He's going to get this one down to Cook, and that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep down.
Oh my God.
He is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle.
Go sleep at
With the
7
clock
o'clock.
where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope. No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Point after, right down the middle. So the onside kick will come with 17 seconds to play. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the onside kick will come with 17 seconds to play. And this is going to be recovered by the hand seam. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Swift. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 14 yards there on the pickup, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll run on first down. Swift. And he'll be pulled down, and now a red flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think. Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
They'll run with Swift. And he is going to be stopped here at the line of scrimmage. And time is going to expire in this football game.
49.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gauton. Thanks for watching, everybody.
to these corporate elites who are running many of these politicians like mainstream and other things. You act like people don't want to work. People be busting their ass. Come here, talk to someone who works a minimum wage, and here's the danger, man. When they push it, first of all, it's an incremental step. Bernie Sanders said it's incremental. You're not going to do it overnight. And when you get there, it's still going to be so woefully underpaid. But what it might do, unfortunately, which is why there are a lot of moving parts here, it might then trigger some of the other rules. Raise you get other federal benefits. So,
It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Their own 20-yard line. First carry from the DeAndre Swift. And he's got some space here. All the way down to the 39. A huge play there right off the bat. 41 yards on the ground. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that? Hitting the defense hard early. And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Now a carry for Swift. These are his numbers from last week's contest. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Swift. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Eric Armstead. And this defense holds on the Knights' opening drive.
Now we're dealing with also is what about those going to take the COVID-19 vaccine? There's been a significant effort.
They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Gain of 11 on the play. First down, 49ers.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why did he throw it away?
Second down, Mostert. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. It's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a fourth and long.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Ball carrier. Corey Littleton there on the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Because that on either side of that number, these huge numbers.
Out of the gun now on third down.
Particularly worried about
as he throws there, incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Generation after their families losing their moms and dads, their 40s and 50s and 60s.
They're going to try and throw.
Still young adults and kids.
And this is going to be boy, a curious decision to go for it doesn't pan out. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10.
This is an opportunity to save lives.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses
that
guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays,
the federal government
52-yard
and
field
state
goal,
health
they're kind of
department
giving up points. But you
should
get
be
even
having
deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more
with
pressure,
effective
more blitzing.
with trusted voices. And I don't mean celebrities. We know based upon various studies that people on the African Americans, it's only 7% follow the advice of celebrities. People always want to say, hey, let's get a celebrity out here. You can see it said. I saw a story today on ESPN.com where it said NBA players are wary about encouraging you to take the vaccine. First of all, black people are not listening to celebrities. To me, this is where the federal government, state health department, county health department, city health department must be drilling down and going to black newspapers, black radio, digital operations, same thing in the Latino community, going really grassroots, creating a little partnership, creating pop-up vaccination spots where people are able to get to. In the town hall the other day on CNN, President Joe Biden talked about the difficulty of certain segments of the black and Latino community when it comes to getting online, knowing where to go, how to access. And there were some people who were upset by saying, oh, he says black people can't get online. Okay, numbers don't lie, okay? I had people who went to teach their grandparents who want to watch my show. I watch this show on their phone, or on their television, or on their computers. And so there has to be an extremely aggressive communications plan and outreach to targeted communities in order for them to be able to understand the vaccine, understand the process, and for them to understand other people who've taken it who also have not had any.
And it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they got it with a second and 10. And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Oblivious to the fact that a lot of low-income
They'll run here with Swift, and they do get the
gets across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised him a little bit running
It's so devastating that the numbers of hospitalizations.
In the morning?
When you come back.
Huh?
When you come back.
When I come, all right.
And, I think the other part of this role that nobody talks about, and I've noticed.
It stopped him well short of the first down.
21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
I remember pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Well, he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Here's Swift. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift. Touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are on the board first here tonight. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third, we have higher rates of hypertension.
I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
The reason I'm really concerned right now is we've got to vaccinate ahead of that variant.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo.
Otherwise,
Get this into the hands of Mostert. That was a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. And this now 3rd and 11 after that 2nd down completion actually went back a yard. Garoppolo looks to throw. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also
That's really appreciate. Thank you so very much.
It's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together to watch the game film.
Look at my panel here, red card. Look, we know there's a problem, and you have to have a solution to the problem. And this is where, again, folks in the health arena must talk to black folks to say, hey, what you are hearing and seeing is the problem, okay? And then how do we now deal with that? So, what are the numbers? Are you seeing groups of folks who are young, who are college age, who are 18 to 35? Are they ambivalent about this, or are they embracing this? Which means let's get them communicating to elders as well. There has to be that, because look, I know some black people who like, ain't no way in hell I'm taking the vaccine. I had somebody on my Instagram page said, man, I had on my goggles and my mask and my headphones when I was flying. Man, you don't take all that. I was like, look, I ain't bullshitting with COVID, okay? I ain't trying to even be sick for 24 hours. So people say, oh, ain't no big deal. Wasn't that bad? 480,000 people have died of COVID. Young people, athletic people, middle-aged people, teenagers, adolescents, older people. I am not about to sit here and play around. And if you tell me that I've got death, major sickness, and long-term effects, and have a vaccine, I'm like, sign me up for the vaccine. Maybe that's just me. tell you what, brother. Dr. Ortez, really, and thank you for having him on. You know, he raised a couple things that are critical. One is access to the vaccine. Here in Washington, D.C., in a conversation today with some colleagues at Howard, folks who live in the upper northwest along 16, right out the window here, who had to go to Southeast D.C. to get their vaccine. They said once they got to Southeast D.C., because the center was put there, I guess, to encourage black folks, they said over half the folk they saw getting the vaccine were white folks who had driven in. So, you know, part of it is you got to open up more centers. The second thing that you raise is very important, is that those centers have to be, well, I'm saying this as well, they have to be strategically located. They need to be in churches, community centers, consolidations, lodge, where it's a star, wherever the folks congregate, so that you can see people you know. And you know, Raphael Warnock said this now, Senator Warnock, on this show over a year ago. He said COVID-19 has exposed COVID-16-19. And so what you now see is, you know, I'm looking at things, and you've seen them all rolling, you've been sharing them on social media. You get a black nurse or a black doctor, and she's inoculating an elder in a church. And you say, okay, this is a black woman inoculating an older black woman, and you begin to build trust that way. The other thing is, and this is the thing that, you know, yeah, those variants, this is serious, man. You know, South Africa has already shut down AstraZeneca because it's proven ineffective against this new variant that they have. So we got to worry about that type of way. Here's the issue. What happens when, and right now they're saying New York Times is reporting roughly about 5% of the population in the country have been fully vaccinated, and at least 12% haven't gotten at least one dose. What happens when those numbers continue to build and tip, and then you have an outsized group of non-white folks, typically black and brown folks, who has not been inoculated? Will you then be fired? Will you then be coerced and say, if you don't take it, you're going to lose your job? And will there then emerge a kind of a two-tier system, a kind of medical apartheid of sorts that say you can't come in this healing establishment, your child can't come to school until they get vaccinated? We're setting ourselves up, in other words, for a very difficult future, not just in terms of the long-term effects, but perhaps even the politics of this vaccine. So, you know, by all means, if you can get it, go get it. And, you know, but these policymakers, right there where you are, so, you know, you got to follow what you did in Georgia. You got to roll into these places, talk to people on the ground, listen to what they have to say, and you distribute the vaccines to those people that people trust. They're not watching TV to build trust.
Well, and that's it. And when you talk about building trust, you talk about what we did in Georgia, that's what it was about. It was about being on the ground. It was about needing to go there. There was somebody who posted a comment on our one of our shows that said that there are teachers in Georgia. This is Sam Roland, teachers in Georgia are driving to Alabama to get the vaccine because they allow teachers to get it there, and Georgia does not. And so this thing is all over the place, Erica. And look, most people say, stop bringing up Donald Trump. The reality is, this is an example of when you had an incompetent group of people that had no national strategy. They were like, hey, whatever you want to do. And so we had the Dallas County Commissioner John Wiley Price on the show. But Dallas County said, we're going to prioritize the community that is greatly mostly impacted by COVID. Republicans in Austin, Texas say, oh no, y'all can't do that. There's local control. They know what's best for their people. So that's what should happen in this case. So what we're dealing with here are bureaucrats, politicians, in the case of Trump and his cronies, the Republicans allow it to happen, do not have a real, true, substantive rollout plan. And to Greg's point, and I've heard it, where you had stores on predominantly black towns, whole line white. With 200 people in line, then it's 10 black people. First thing you say is, oh, y'all ain't never here. There's 200 white folks in line and 10 black people. Who knew? Who knew it was available? Who was there? And so when people criticize, President Biden the other day saying, oh, he's against black people, if a system is set up to set alerts on your phone to notify you when COVID vaccines are going to be in a particular zip code, if our folks are not that engaged with it, then we're not going going to know.
With just 4 seconds
I'm
left
just
in this
tired of people
first
playing
half,
games with this
call.
because our lives are on the line, and we all know, Erica, in Georgia, Albany was ground zero for COVID-19 in 2020.
They'll throw now on the final play.
He's going
He's going to fire one deep over the middle.
and you know that very well because you were in Georgia, you did work in Georgia, and the first COVID test that I experienced was the weekend of my birthday. It was a dear friend of mine that passed away from COVID. They rushed her to Emory to get her on a ventilator, and she passed away. That was in March of 2020. So here we are. The previous regime had no interest in rolling out the COVID strategy. They had no interest in distribution and logistics. And so we are all paying the price for that. 493, 120 people later, now trying to hurry up and spin up. And so looking at the map, we pretty much have 50 different nations within the United States. And so within those nations are all of these different counties, and all of those different counties are functioning very differently. You may have more vaccine in one county to the next. And then it just depends on within that same county if they're operating through the tier system, if they are saying that people who are healthcare workers are going to go first and then the second priority of those people who are 75 plus with minimized symptoms. It just all depends on how they operate. So that is also the importance of what is happening within your state. How are they making sure that the shots are being on equitably? That is something that has really been spun out for the states to make and those counties to logistically organize around. And so when you talk about going into places where they are very much so the home of black folks, but you see non-black folks that are penetrating those communities to get the vaccine, well, if we only have about 5 to 7% of physicians that are represented as people of color or black people that are in that space, well, how are people who are supposed to be getting the vaccine finding out about it? And all of the people that are showing up to those particular places are reflective of the people that are actually providing the service. Then with that, but then you have a standout like a doctor always stands for other black doctors in Florida who let us know today we're still making sure that people were able to get their second dose for the COVID-19 vaccine. So, just to wrap it up, representation is definitely important, but also very important the way a state specifically is handling not only the distribution, but making sure that there's access to places that are rural that don't have all the people communities, right? They're not in the rural communities where there's CVS's in 2 or 3 different places, where clinics have been shut down, hospitals have been shut down, and going back to when Republican governors decided that they did not want the expansion of Medicaid within their state back in 2013. So now here we are in 2021, paying for many of those decisions that were made in the interest of parties and not necessarily people. And so as people continue to see a lot of the disparities and inequities in their communities, do lift up those people that are doing their very best in positions to make sure that there is equitable distribution within their community. Reese, again, we are being impacted, and if the word is not getting out in black neighborhoods about vaccines being available in black neighborhoods, I say to those who are in charge, get with the people who know how to communicate with black people.
Absolutely, and I think that the Biden-Harris administration in particular is trying to do that. I saw Dr. Marcelo Smith, who is head of the COVID Racial and Disparity Task Force of the Biden-Harris administration, doing an interview with the Shade Room. And this is where I have to, make a very unpopular statement and say that as black people, we need to come to terms with the disinformation and misinformation in our community. Now, there are a lot of black people out there that are doing everything that they can to get the vaccine, and there are disparity issues, there are access issues, but there are a good number of black people out there that are spreading disinformation about the vaccine. There are people who are anti-science. They're anti-anything. And let me say something to those people. You are not outsmarting the government by not taking the vaccine. The government is not trying to kill black people with the vaccine. Because there's a real ass-bastard way of going about it, of trying to kill black people with the vaccine, but you got all the white folks trying to take it. How does that make sense? And these people are snatching up people's points. Okay, so why don't we band together? And there are a lot of people doing that. I'm not saying that nobody's doing it. But why don't we band together and try to help each other get these appointments that the white folks are snatching up instead of banding together and getting patients and spreading disinformation, trying to sow confusion and doubt about the efficacy of the vaccine. Because we are disproportionately impacted by it. Juices and berries is not going to protect you from COVID. Okay? It's just not. There's no clinical evidence to show that. There's clinical trials that have been done. This is a worldwide galvanization of science. It's utilizing decades worth of science. This is not science that popped up out of nowhere. It's leveraging decades of research. Do the actual research from reputable sources, not from your YouTube scholars, not from your Instagram scholars, and don't understand why when people see some random person who makes a video about their face being half frozen for a day, take that and say, oh, no, I'm not going to take the vaccine. But you ignore all of the science, you ignore all of the experts. When you do see experts come into our communities and try to communicate to us, then you have this hostility and this cynicism toward us. So there's an amount of responsibility we have to take within our communities to combat the disinformation, combat the misinformation. And I understand this whole umbrella of mistrust and black people have been done wrong by the system, and we're going to talk about racism in healthcare. But at a certain point, we are part of the problem when we allow this anti-science, this completely wrong information to spread and permeate in our community, and we almost make it a badge of honor to be anti-vaccination and to
But the recent truth be told, one of the reasons why that kind of stuff can clear in our community, because frankly, we largely have entertainment and sports sources, and we don't have news. Straight up. I'm talking when you study again, more than 2% of African Americans get their information from radio, from black radio. Well, if all you're doing is playing music, and you're not actually talking about this, and you don't have shit like the doctor on, guess what? Folks are just jamming away, not getting the information. And so I'm a firm believer in, again, you diagnose those, you know what the problem is. But this is why I'm saying that, yeah, it was great that she did the change room, but that can't be a one-off. It has to be a consistent thing. It has to be a consistent messaging, which is critically important. And again, people want to say that. Rodney Ellis, who's the Harris County Commissioner, who was talking about what's happening in Texas with the weather. Well, let's bring us in on this. Because Commissioner Ellis, you understand this. You understand legislature in Texas. You're county commissioner. You know what it means to have trusted black voices speaking to the community. Is that what y'all have been doing there in Harris County to ensure that the right folks get the information when it comes to COVID-19 vaccine?
It's always hard to block the ball downfield. You have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right? Without a doubt, you need that difference maker. And this will not be returned. It will come out to the 25. DeAndre Swift heading back out with his Detroit teammates. He's hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job.
This is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there for Detroit. 33 yards. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And this one's incomplete. Physical play on the football there on second down. Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10.
Again, so that's really important. We had you on talking about what's happening there with the weather in Texas. First of all, you yourself bought power earlier this week. Power's now back on. How are things looking now? How things with power when it comes to many of our folks? We've been freezing. Pretty good there in Texas. What is it looking like today?
Ball score, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the fourth quarter. On first and 10, Swift. And he takes this one here for his touchdown. DeAndre Swift, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Lions have broken our tie as they take the lead. It's up and going, and that'll make the score 21-14. The drive send this one
Now I'm
away.
over the brain fight with
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And we see James, he will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The 49er offense are coming back out on the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
They use Fortnite.
that I represent.
I am impressed. It means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
If I wait myself,
Exactly. Going down the stretch, and much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe the importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make that last run, that last push to get into the playoffs.
On a gain of 13, it's a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defenses, I remember, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. The disadvantages, when they find those
Understand. Commissioner, last question for you. I gotta get your take on Senator Ted Cruz going to Cancun with his family. Now, all the conservatives trying to say, what did Senator Ted Cruz do? What, y'all want him to see both his people? I'm sorry. You have been a elected official for a very long time. And when there is a major natural disaster, people expect that the elected officials are going to be on the job 24/7, trying to help any way they can, not going to Cancun, kicking in with the family.
well, Mayor, so this is a great line. I heard him say
It's James. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps him driving.
But it appears that they red man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball to the good timing. And they get it done.
trying to do as much as he can. And then let's look at how this got screwed up.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact.
All right, then. I really appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much, Commissioner Alex, and all the folks there in Houston. Hello, we're really thinking about everything good. My family, the lights are back on, power is back on, and they actually have heat down.
Hey, thank you, Ron. Come home and miss you.
I definitely want to get home as soon as I can. So appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I want to go back to our panel here and talk about that. As a matter of fact, I want to play this video for y'all. I was absolutely cracking up at this video. I mean, it really was just hilarious. Now, this is not a video, y'all. This is a satirical video that was put together. So watch this woman who is Ted Cruz spokeswoman. Watch this.
Oh yes, Senator Cruz is in Cancun right now. But here in Golden you say big look. Senator Cruz deserves to relax, unwind, unplug, recharge. Like he let a power outlet. Or his power grid's gonna go out, and we can't have that. That's too important. So he's got to take care of his mind, which comes from the inside. And it's just like, why can't he have his escape love on it like everybody else can? It's just funny to me. It's funny that whenever he's here in America and he's doing his little jokes on Twitter, everybody says, go away, Ted, we hate you. But then when he goes away to Cancun, everybody says, well, where's Ted? Why isn't he doing little jokes on Twitter? Now, sometimes you just don't know what you got till it's gone, and that should be a lesson for the American. Wondering what's going to do Ted Cruz at this time.
And he'll get this all the way up to the
42-yard line. You're the queen of shade.
It's a pickup of 17 on first down. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is great. And it's really funny that some people don't realize that she's a character account. And so they really take it seriously because she sounds exactly like how Republicans sound. I think it's very telling that for Ted Cruz, the way that he sees his constituents, and I don't mean the Texas voters, but I mean the 2024 primary voters for the presidential race, the Republicans, his corporate donors, is he absolutely has to be on the side of the insurrection for his political expediency. But he doesn't have to stay in Texas and actually deal with the crisis that's at hand. That says a lot about the Republican Party. And we all know that this kind of behavior won't necessarily be much of a deterrent for Republican voters because they don't get the anyway. They don't vote based on any kind of effectiveness or anything like that. They vote because they're white nationalists. But some people have been saying, well, what is he supposed to do? Look at Congresswoman Sheila Jackson. She has organized water distribution throughout Texas. That is what you do. She's a congresswoman, and these Senate offices, as well as congressional offices, as well as local offices, they have constituent services. They're the ones who are supposed to help triage things like this and come to the rescue. So there's no notion that there's nothing for him to do. He might as well go on vacation. Just shows a lack of civic understanding that people have, and a complete prevalence of propaganda and double standards in the Republican Party. But it's inexcusable, and I'm glad he was busted. And shame on him for throwing his whole family under the bus. I mean, he threw his wife under the bus when Donald Trump called her ugly. He should have died. And he still got a pair of kids up with Donald Trump for the next 4 years. But he threw his daughters under the bus. He was a scumbag.
But it gets better. It gets a lot better because what's real interesting here is that on Monday, Ted Cruz said they had power at their house. Then later, they didn't have power. Now, first of all, that happened. My family had power. Monday morning, power was in later. But the New York Times has gotten hold of some text messages. No lie there. Well, see, I just love social secrets.
And a good play by him. If no
Now,
one's open and you don't have a running lane that you
New York Times has text messages hiding from 60 twins and Houston neighbors. Their house was freezing, and she proposed a Sunday return. Ted Cruz invited others to join them at the Ritz-Carlton in Cancun for $309 per night, where they had stayed, quote, many times. Isn't that bad when your wife, when the text messages show up, and you out there lying, and now you got text messages from hiding?
For a 1-5 play drive, that one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
Exactly right. And if you have that 1-5 play drive, you actually build momentum, and even when they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown. It's almost like,
and they care nothing about anything except for proximity to power and their own election. That's what they're representing. So this kind of behavior will be yesterday's news in a few days because that is how the Republicans move. Even on Facebook 2009, when the professor knows that this is the same Ted Cruz that the people were trying to protest he definitely had fired the smoke for that. This is the same Ted Cruz while they can prove insecurity crisis with violence. That is the same Raphael Edwards Cruz. This is the same Raphael Edwards Cruz that was on that made his family comfortable going to Cancun, and he followed through with a big-ass Texas statement on. And so now that he's been caught in a lie, he just turned around and came back home. But just remember that these are things that people have to remember when, again, these folks are dropping back up for their re-election. They don't care about you. They care about ensuring that they properly wed power in any place at the call of command of their master, Donald John Trump. That's who these people are. And I don't think they remember that.
Real quick, we're going to Dr. Greg Carr. More receipts. This was a full crowd. Oh, just in December. What about I say that? The hypocrites. Complete and utter hypocrites. And don't forget, Mayor Atwood, who took a private jet with 8 people to Cabo, and while in Cabo, all caps, recorded a video telling Austinites to stay home if you can. This is not the time to relax. All 8
Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now.
See? I'm sorry, Raphael.
It's not a high percentage coverage, but it did not have a chance at all. And that's when you put your Reapers and your Flyers on one side, getting that high.
And he has to do what Heidi
other
said
side, you get
because,
that
you know,
Haynes
she's
team
got to
ready.
get down there to Cancun. I'm sure she has a regular masseuse there to help with those scars on her back from the last time the Trump train ran over. She's not planning to do that because if he doesn't do this, he can't stay in the house. I'm told that he wants because she will spew him out of her mouth because, you know, that's the price he had to pay when he gave his whole little leg to Donald John Trump. As Erica said, and he put it in his back pocket and forgot he had it. Probably just been sitting on it the whole time. But, you know, I think the number here, and you know this, Roland, I mean, your family is in Houston, your parents are down there in Texas. You know, my mama's down there with my sister and them. They burn the fireplaces, got to switch out my niece. You know, the man who, there's a special place in hell for him. This moment is very happy. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. My mama's down there. It ain't no sense in threatening you with no physical harm. The numbers we must remember at this moment, even as we get our folks through this crisis, are 2-0-2-2. That's the because, you know, the oil and gas lobby that has you running around the propaganda saying this is about the Green New Deal, you shovel mouth bastard, while people are out here freezing to death. And I got friends, you know, down there. I'm looking on social media. I'm looking at, you know, my friend Ivar Nelly's tweeting pictures of folks breaking off firewood to keep warm out the trees as the trees crack and rock. Let me take something. You got to go talk. And then once that's done, you go 2 years later and interact. You know, you should have stayed in Texas. We sent the bill. They got waste disposal dump down there. You should have stayed down there. But the important thing we must never forget is that piece you showed us at the beginning, that parody, the reason in this country we can't tell the difference, as Reese just said, in terms of, you know, what's real and what's not, is because it's all propaganda. That's right. They're going to forget tomorrow about rapid payments. And his bank is not going to abandon him because you're going to have to pry their white nationalism from them. Literally, in the words of Charles Nestor, the NRA, the now defunct NRA, from their cold, dead they don't get it right. All right, folks, let's go down to our next story, all right? That is, we talked about the NAACP suing Donald Trump on behalf of Congressman Jimmy Thompson and others for a fighting against elected in addition to Rudy Giuliani. Joining us right now is Derek Johnson, CEO of the NAACP. Derek, glad to have you back on the show.
The defensive guys, they're just saying, hey,
can you hear me?
Put those points up.
Yeah, go ahead and talk, Derek. Derek, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. Right? When the day this was announced, I had a guest on the show who said the NAACP is wasting precious time filing this lawsuit. The guest said they should be more concerned about what's happening in the black community. I said, well, they can actually, chew gum and talk at the same time. I'll see what the big deal is. Why did you decide to come out this quick with this lawsuit against Trump, against Giuliani?
Well, white supremacy unchecked only spreads over time. History has shown us that domestic terrorism in this country have always been rooted in white supremacy, primarily in the South, particularly during the times of the 2030s, 40s, and forward. And if we don't do anything to try to put this in check, the genie will continue to go out of the box, and we will see a larger incident moving forward. What we're looking at here is a failed coup. And anytime you have a failed coup and you do nothing, no one is held accountable, you can guarantee that more people will be emboldened to try it again. This is no different than what happened in 1860s leading up to the Civil War. We must, at all costs, do all that's possible to address white supremacist behavior, particularly when they are radicalized and become domestic terrorists. Anyone who understands the history of this nation, anyone who can think themselves out of a box, know that helping black folks is suffocating white supremacy at all costs. And anything short of that can be foolhardy. NAACP, in this moment, we are representing Congressman Thompson, and soon to be other members of Congress under an act that was adopted in 1871 for the express purpose to protect members of Congress from intimidation and threat and their activities of carrying out their duties as members of the United States Congress. Who else should bring this case if we're not bringing it?
This is the point that I have been making, that at some point there has to be accountability. That you've got to be in a situation where the House impeachment manager didn't call any witnesses, Trump didn't testify, Pence didn't testify, none of those things happened. They need to be on the record. There needs to be conversations with Congressman Kevin McCarthy, with Kellyanne Conway. Did she make that phone call? Did Donald Trump ignore that phone call or she reportedly called the body man of Donald Trump as well? Those things should happen.
The only way you get there is in a court proceeding. What we witnessed last week that culminated Saturday was a political proceeding. And we were not surprised that more members of the Senate will put partisanship over their patriot duty to protect our Constitution. No one was surprised by that. But unless we get this in a court of law, we'll never get to that point to put anyone under oath for a deposition. It was ironic that today in the paper, the lawyers representing the oath keepers are now saying Trump made us do it. They're beginning to fight each other. But at the end of the day, no matter whether it's Trump or some financier behind Trump, we must address this, force the question of accountability. Because if we don't, they will change the narrative of talking about coming together and we should get along and bring people back together. There is no getting back together until people are held accountable for causing harm and seeking to subvert our democracy.
I want to ask you a couple other questions, Derek. At the top of the show, we talked about the Poor People's Campaign meeting with Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia about the $15 minimum wage. They have been very aggressive on this, trying to push President Joe Biden as well. Is the NAACP also fiercely advocating and pushing the Biden administration and rallying your 2,000 branches to put pressure on their elected officials to make the federal minimum wage $15 an hour? In 1963, the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, at that time, the federal minimum wage was $1.25. It's now $7.25. That means it went up $6 in 58 years. Is this a major issue for the NAACP? And are y'all pushing these folks to say have a living wage in every state in this country, and there should be a federal standard?
Well, absolutely.